Judging can be done from a chair, from anyone taught the rules. You can be taught from seminars. You can see what's in front of you. But you don't have the emotion, the fire, the passion, the desire, unless you've been out here with your belt tied and you sweat and you tear and you bleed on this floor. And when you do that, your appreciation for being a judge is that much greater.
Hey everybody, I'm just taking a few moments out with Ritchie Average. He is a native of New York, and I think that's very appropriate for where we're at this week. So Richie, thank you for taking a few minutes with me today.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely, it's my pleasure. So let's talk about your history for a couple minutes. I know that you have been a part of the NBL for a number of years, so let's talk about when you started.
I started in 1988 as a member of the Boys Slidell's Junior Smash team, and then I transferred into the very first NBL in Niagara Falls, 1991.
Wow. Okay, so that's way back. So in all of those years that you were competing, what divisions were you entering?
Traditional self-defense, traditional weapons, Jap, Korean, point teams were my main forte.
All right, so a little bit of everything there.
Yes, ma'am, a little bit of everything.
All right, so between the fighting and the forms and the self-defense, did you have a favorite back then?
I would have to say my favorite was probably traditional self-defense.
Okay, great. So talk a little bit about what goes into putting those choreographed self-defense pieces together.
For me, it was about showing that the martial arts you do in the dojo can be transferred into tournaments. At that time, there weren't very many black Afro-Americans instructors doing self-defense. Right. And I wanted to be one of the very first to do it. And I took it serious. I took what I learned in the dojo as a kid. I transferred into sport karate, and I did quite well. I love doing it, and my guys are doing it to this day.
That's really good to hear. So you competed for how many years before you stopped, and then let us know what year you stopped competing?
I competed for almost 16 years, and I retired in 2004.
Okay. And why did you retire?
Unfortunately, I was hurt and I had an injury. I tore my ACL on my left knee, and I had to go down for a while. So I just kind of took more time to do more teaching, traveling with the kids and students, and give back to the community a little bit more.
That's really great to hear, and I love to see people staying connected to the martial arts in any way that they can, even when they can't compete any longer. So let's actually start talking about that now. So I know that you have put a team together, Team Empire. So would you please share a little bit about the history of that team with us, why you put it together, how it came to be, and how you recruit people for it?
Team Empire started 2 years ago, right out of New York, with a buddy of mine, Buster Hargrave, who lives here in Buffalo as well. It actually started as Team Everage, my local guys from Rochester in my own community. But the wave started so hot, people just loved what we were doing. And it decided we had to take it in a new direction. So we came up with a new color scheme, new design, new look, and therefore we went into Team Empire. Now we've become not just a local team, but also a national team. And we're holding our own right now. And our selection process is very simple. I do it based on love. I don't do it based on money. I don't do it based on personalities. I do it based on what can a person do for the community and what they can do to give back to the sport of martial arts. And my parents know that I give 100% from the heart, not from the wallet.
I really like to hear that. So when you're looking for students to take on, you're looking for them to not only be involved in martial arts, but maybe have some kind of connection to their community?
Absolutely. We all had instructors who were mentors to us or who did something in our lives to mean something. And I want Empire to mean something to everybody in their community. So we try to make sure that when you not only train with us, you train with home, you train in your community, you give back, you meet your governor, you talk to your senator, you go out and do daily projects, monthly regimes, and we stick to what we do best and give back to kids who need it mostly.
What a wonderful thing to give back to your community, to even have this situation set up where this is what you expect of your students or people who are going to be part of this team. I really love that. So thank you for doing that for your community. Let's talk about some of the people that you have on your team who are here this week. How are they doing? How many do you have here?
Oh, I have 12 here total, and we're doing very well. We have Jacob Cleary, who's from Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, and he competes in 8 divisions, and he's competing in all 8 this week here at the Grands. And currently he's in the finals for traditional self-defense, and hopefully he'll make the finals for creative musical weapons. And today he just took 3rd in fighting. I have Dave Kopic from Utah, Colorado area. Great guy. I love him to death. He's in the finals tonight or this weekend for Kempo, and he still has to do 35 and over and 45 and over. I have Riley Thurston. He's one of my juniors. He's an up-and-coming young man, and he should have an SKI weapons division and an SKI point fighting division. Ryan Shields, also from Canada, is in finals for self-defense as well, and he'll probably, hopefully, make it in traditional weapons and maybe jab. And the rest are just a bunch of young people that are still up and coming and everything else. So we're just trying to build it from the ground up, and so this legacy will last for the next couple of years.
Excellent. And so even with your students, it sounds like you've got everything across the board covered. You've got the traditional, the open forms, some fighting, some self-defense. So they're following in their coaches' footsteps, it sounds like.
They are, and they receive it well. And I try to be a well-rounded team, not just a fighting team, just a kata team. I want everybody to be able to do a little bit of something and show the diversity of what they can do, as well as the same thing they do in the dojo. If we teach it all at home, we should be able to do it on the floor.
Absolutely. I agree with that. Well, thank you so much for sharing that. Now, I know that another thing that you're doing here this week is you're helping to judge and referee. So let's talk a little bit about that. Depending on what division you're judging, let's talk a little bit about what you're looking for in maybe a forms division versus a sparring division. And, well, yes, let's start there.
I am judging this week, and I've been assigned to do a lot of the men's fighting and junior fighting divisions. Being a center ref, I try to make sure that, one, my ring is run fairly, it's competitive, it's honest, it's true to the art, and we run a very fast-paced ring, and we don't try to make sure that the fighters aren't influenced. Judging is very difficult, and you have to be on your P's and Q's, and you have to not be able to allow outside influences. So I try to stick to what I do best, and I run it very honestly, very fairly. And we do a good job, and I try to make sure the guys understand that we're going to run it, they appreciate how we run it, and they can say that this ring was run in a great fashion. The most important difference is everyone's watching. Everyone's watching. Everybody is always looking for you to make a mistake. And the moment you do, they're going to be right on you. And you have to be able to find a way to not make that mistake. But here at the Grands, everybody has to be on point, and it starts with the center. And the competitors know the center's going to run well. They usually have a greater appreciation for the divisions. Locally, it's more of a family-based event. You have more friends. You can kind of ease back a little bit and just kind of go through. But here, this is where the cream of the crop rises, and I want to be one of those who are at the top of that list. And I take judging very seriously, and I want to be one of the best around.
Hey everybody, I am standing here with Dave Kopic, who has had a pretty successful time here at Super Grand so far. Sir, actually, could you just start by giving us a little bit of background information about yourself, where you come out of, and a little bit of background on your training?
I'm Dave Kopic. I train American Kempo Karate. This is my 32nd year in training. I own a karate school in Colorado Springs. I do the NBL circuit, the whole national circuit. This is my 10th Super Grands. I've got 6 world titles, 18 plus Kempo, 35 plus fighting, 45 plus fighting, and I'm here to add to that, hopefully.
Excellent. So you're definitely a very seasoned competitor. It's always lovely to see you at these tournaments. Now, yesterday I know that you took first in Kempo form, so you're on stage for that.
Yes,
congratulations. And then just now you took first in 35 and over sparring?
Yes, 35 plus super heavy.
And you have no losses, correct?
Correct.
All right, well, congratulations on that. Can you talk a little bit about the difference for you between going into the ring for your forms and then coming in to fight?
Well, in forms, there's nobody in front of me, so I have to have that extra energy to show the judges that I'm crushing and hurting people. And in the ring, I've got an opponent, so actually fighting is more fun. I do forms because I make my students do forms, and forms have value. And at the end of the day, that's part of martial arts. I don't want them to be a partial artist. I want them to be a martial artist.
So, ladies and gentlemen, Ritchie Average of Team Empire of Rochester, New York?
Yes, ma'am, Rochester.
All right, right here in New York. Again, we thank you for your time. We'll see you soon. Thank you.